Of course, the Independent Electoral Commission is hoping to pull out all the stops as it gives its final push for eligible voters to register their details ahead of this year's elections. The IEC says so far 27 million people have been recorded. That's the highest toll since the dawn of democracy. And now a number of political parties are also hoping to use this moment to woo potential voters in the lead up to the polls. Let's take you to our reporters now, watching the story from a number of vantage points. We'll perhaps begin in Soweto because President Cyril Ramaphosa will be spending the first day of this voter registration drive there as the battle for control of Gauteng continues. Ramaphosa was also in that area last November when he encouraged young people in particular to vote and conducted door-to-door campaigns. Newzroom Afrika's Zianda was part of our team watching this leg of the big story, and she joins us now live from Soweto. And Zianda, it goes without saying, the party that Cyril Ramaphosa represents in that community has had quite an eventful past couple of months, perhaps even years. The stakes, some might say, couldn't be higher.
Absolutely. The battle for Gauteng continues, Ayanda, and as we know, the youth are going to be critical in this election. We'll remember that the IEC has just recently told us that we breached the 27 million registered voters mark for the first time, and now we are going to see then whether or not areas such as Soweto, which constitutes around 25% of the vote here in Johannesburg, what they will do. And let's bring in the ANC Youth League President Collen Malatjie, because you'll be a critical component in trying to tap into those 14 million unregistered voters. How are you going to go about this?
Look, we have a full program on the ground of engaging the youth. Apart from the traditional door-to-door we're doing as a youth league on social media, also we're engaging them, but also we're pushing our ANCYL government to immediately resolve their issues of NEFSAS, or putting pressure on it to be resolved, issues of unemployment of youth. We've engaged all stakeholders in the training sector that they must avail the budget to resolve all their problems urgently. Now, the only way to resolve the youth matter is to resolve their problems. And we've declared unemployment as a disaster as the ANC Youth League, and it's something we're working on to resolve from now until the elections. Now, we're saying that we're going to put in permanent solutions in these areas. We've also entered the skills revolution part. If you can hear everyone in the ANC now speaking about skills development, because we want the youth to be reskilled so their skills respond to the economic demand of South Africa.
I mean, you're a relatively new youth league, comparatively speaking, because it was inactive for so many years. Well, do you think that young people trust you enough to actually listen to what you have to say and believe that you will create those jobs?
Look, we're working every day, every hour to win back the confidence of the youth of South Africa. And we don't expect them to trust us overnight. They'll trust us through our action and the work we're doing. But since we've been in office, you can see there's a lot of movement. A lot of departments are starting to move because we're holding people accountable on behalf of the youth league. We became the voice of the voiceless. And those who have been actively, who are following us everywhere, they know very well that now the youth league is becoming an organization of choice again. Every young person is starting to associate themselves with the youth league because we speak on their issues. Whenever there are problems, we act immediately. We're first on the firing line against those that don't respond to youth demands.
You've just recently turned down being put on the national list to go to Parliament. Don't you think it's critical to be in key positions such as the executive to be able to fast-track the issues of young people?
Look, we want young people in the corridors of power. I'm not the only young person who can be deployed. We will be deploying a lot of young people. We have demanded 50% of young people to be in Parliament and in the executive. But because of the state of the youth league needs its president to selflessly be in Little House and assist to rebuild the structures. I've been to Parliament. I know the pegs of Parliament and all of that. But the problem is that if I go to Parliament and go to the executive, we run a risk of having a youth league being weakened because all the problems that we have needs a youth league that can able to resolve all their problems in all departments and hold everyone accountable. Can you imagine if I'm also in the cabinet responsible for a department? Youth issues will only be put on one sector where we're deployed as a youth league. Where else we want the youth league to be everywhere, whether it's sports and art and culture, whether it's economic development, whether it's agriculture, whether it's human settlement, whether it's infrastructure. The youth must be full participant there. Now, we thought about that decision, and you know very well, the president of the Youth League is not a full-time responsibility in the Tool House. But we thought about it as the executive and said that the right decision to make now is that I must move back a bit from going to Parliament and focus on building this Youth League to become again a board of opinion in the ANC, but an organization of choice of all the youth of South Africa. And the only way to do that is for me to leave all the pegs and go and build structures of the Youth League.
Twice now the ANC has decided to come to Soweto. Gauteng is clearly a cause for concern for you.
Yes, it's a collateral, you know. All the small political parties, when they want to launch their political parties, they come to Soweto, they come to Gauteng, because it's a highly organized contested space of high concentration of middle class youth. And Gauteng is a clear achievement of what the ANC has done for South Africa, because we've developed many settlements, we've developed many areas for the youth to have also choices and participate fully in democracy. Now it's a corner space, but also it's a highly populated area. It's one of the biggest populations in Gauteng. Now, if you want to win elections, you need Gauteng and KZN to win elections. Now, we're camping here because we want to revive and remind South Africans, mainly Sowetans and everyone else, of what the ANC has done for them as a country, because it is not true that the ANC has done nothing. You know, the ANC has done a lot for this country, but more can still be done.
All right, so Collen Malatjie is the ANC Youth League president. We'll be joining President Cyril Ramaphosa as he continues with the campaign to get people, in particular the youth, to register to vote. It's the second drive that the IEC has hosted, Ayanda, and today the president will be in Protea Glen, and he will also then do a blitz walk at Jabulani at some stage, as well as other door-to-door campaigns.
All right, the situation clearly heating up in Soweto. Zenda Ngobo and the rest of the team, live to us from that community in Gauteng. For now, thanks very much indeed.